Okay, hello everyone, welcome. This is the March HMIS user meeting. We are going to go ahead and get started. Some of you already know the drill, but please enter your agency name in the chat box so we know who is participating. And we are going to go ahead and get started. So we have a brief agenda today. We have a staff change to announce. We're going to go over system performance measures, an update on the client consent form. We're going to talk a little bit about rapid rehousing project performance, the HIC and PIT, and the LSA. And if you have any questions about HMIS, something you want to see or talk about, we can discuss that at the end. Okay, so really quickly, Mai has unfortunately left 211, and we're all very sad about it, but we are also happy to announce that Myra Vargas is now on the HMIS team as a data analyst. She just started this week, but she will very soon be working with all of you on your tickets over the phone and in the help desk. So when you see her name pop up, please make her feel welcome. And many of you already know her because she was working with the Family Solutions Collaborative before, and she was also with 211 under the coordinated entry team. So welcome, Myra. And next, we're going to talk about system performance corrections. Let me unmute Casey. Casey?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Great. Can I share my screen, Erin?
Yes.
Okay, so the system performance report is quickly coming up. It's due to HUD on May 31st. The reporting period is the same reporting period as the LSA, which is October 1st, 2017 to September 30th, 2018. We'll be sending out corrections soon, probably towards the end of April, to give everyone a chance to work on the LSA corrections that we sent out last week. And we're hoping that the corrections that we've been sending out about the performance reports from the data meeting are going to cover a lot of what would need to be corrected for this report anyway. So just be on the lookout for those corrections if you're an agency administrator. Any questions about the system performance report? Can't see the chat.
I'm not seeing any.
Okay. Next, just an update on the client consent form. We're working on a new draft of the consent to share protected personal information form, which is this one. You see this in HMIS too. It's pretty long, as you can see, a lot of information. So we're trying to work on simplifying it, and that new draft will be presented to the COC board in May. So we want to encourage you all to give us any feedback you may have on this document so that we can help clients understand their rights in HMIS more easily. And we have a quick poll for you guys, but I don't see it in my options anymore. Erin, can you see if you can enable the poll? It should be up like where you would share your screen.
Let's see. I'm not seeing it. You could probably reclaim host. Or we're going to have to do it the good old-fashioned way and just do it through the chat.
Yeah, we might have to just do it through the chat.
Oh, wait.
So if you have any general, oh, you see it?
Yeah, I'm going to launch it.
Yeah. All right, so two questions are going to come up at the same time, I think. The first one is just whether or not you think clients have a hard time understanding the consent form. And then we're also thinking of creating like a little video that explains the information in the consent form that you could play for clients since it's such a long document and it's a lot to take in at once. So we wanted to get your feedback on that. You can also send us feedback in the chat box, or if you have a lot of feedback, you can please create a ticket and let us know what you think would help.
This is so exciting.
Can you see it? I can't see it.
Yeah, so 50% of you have voted, so we can tell. So if you haven't voted already, please do that. And while we're waiting for the last few votes to come in, if some of you are confused about the client consent form and why it's going to the COC board in May, we shared it at the March data meeting, and it was approved to go to the COC board. And it did go to the COC board in March, and there were they had some feedback. One of the items being that they were worried about whether or not the clients were actually reading it and understood it, as well as a few other things. So we're going to have a discussion about it at the data meeting this week, and then make some revisions to the form for approval in May and move forward from there. Okay, so almost everyone's voted, so I'm going to end the poll. And so 62% feel that your clients have a hard time understanding the consent form. And it's almost 50% split on if we created a short video, would that be helpful for your intake process? So let's see, share. Yeah, so that's, so yes, we are working on decreasing the reading level of the client consent form. We were talking about decreasing it to 3rd grade reading level. We are researching a tool that can help do that, so we're hoping to have that ready to present in May. All right. Anything else, Casey?
I don't think so, unless there are questions.
I didn't see any.
Okay.
So let me find. Elizabeth?
Hi. Do you want to
share
put
my
the
screen, or?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right.
Okay, hello everybody. So the rapid rehousing data, rapid rehousing performance data will be reviewed at the April Data and Performance Management meeting, which will take place tomorrow. So that meeting is going to take place on April 11th at 1:30 until 3, and it's at the CASA training room, which is located at 1505 East 17th Street. So agencies receive data on March 21st to review the performance measurements for their projects and to make corrections to the data on which the performance analysis is based. Data was then pulled on April 2nd for the report that will be presented at the upcoming data meeting. And the final report will be published by today, and 211OC will send out an email with a link to the report so that agencies can review the data before the meeting. The report will be published today, yes. And the report will serve as a basis for reviewing improvements that took place in the last 6 months. So we'll be able to compare the rapid rehousing project performance data that was presented in November 2018 to the report that is published in April. So I just wanted to invite everybody who has an RH project to please come to the data meeting to go look over the data and discuss the improvements. And I also wanted to remind projects that have agencies that have homeless prevention projects that a corrections file was sent out on March 19th. So please take the time to make corrections. There's no due date for those corrections, and 211OC will follow up with a report in August.
All right.
So Stephanie, we should have the report available by today, so we'll be sending out an email, and
and that will include both, it should include both the dynamic report, which is like a Tableau visualization of the report, and then a PDF, so if you want to print out and share. So about the HICPIT, I want to thank everyone who participated in the HICPIT this year. We appreciate the time and the effort that you put into the process. So as of now, all the data has been finalized and it's been sent out to the county. So the county will work on disseminating the data, and we expect the earliest publication of data by the end of April. So as we find out that the county has published information, we will let agencies know. So 211 OC will communicate the publications about the publications to the agency so that you're aware of how your efforts contribute to the knowledge of homelessness in Orange County. So thanks again to everybody who participated in the HICPIT. And we hope to communicate the publications as soon as we can.
All right. So next up, Adriana is going to do an update on the LSA, and she's a little bit under the weather, so please bear with her. Adriana?
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Erin, for let them know. So if I sound a little bit off, my voice sound off, just please bear with me. I just want to give you a quick update of the LSA. So right now we're working on the second submission that we have to give to HUD. So pretty much they already sent us feedback on the first submission that we did at the end of last year. So right now what we're doing is correcting all the errors that they saw and incorporating all the feedback that was sent to us. But we need help during this process, and that's why about 2 weeks ago we sent you guys a second round of corrections with the data quality errors that are remaining from the first round of corrections that was sent last year. And basically you should have received like a spreadsheet. So I would like to go through that spreadsheet with you. Erin, can I share my screen, please?
Yeah.
Okay, can you see the spreadsheet?
Yeah.
Okay, so basically this is what you all should have received. And this is just your data, the same data that was sent November of last year, just with the remaining errors highlighted by color, depending on the type that the error has. So basically what we ask you guys is to review all the spreadsheet, starting with the name of the client and go all the way to currently fleeing domestic violence. Excuse me. So since we know there's a lot of data there, we ask you to set up certain priorities because there are some areas that are more severe than others. So we ask you to pay close attention to relationship to head of household, as well as all the living situation questions, which are these ones that are highlighted here, and also the disabling conditions. So basically what we ask you, for example, for the relationship to head of household is just to review which are the clients that are presenting errors. So you can do that very easily just by clicking on the filter and then hover over filter by color. So in this case, we only have data missing, so we just click the green. And then after doing that, we can easily identify who are the clients that are presenting that error. So for example, in this case, it's just the symptom household. And then it's also important to notice the project in which they are presenting the error, because their clients could have multiple enrollments for the same period. So for example, here's just the Springfield Homeless Shelter. So the idea is for you guys, after identifying that, just open HMIS and do the specific corrections. So basically that's it. We have to replicate that process for all the different columns. However, we ask you to pay close attention to data issues, which are highlighted, for example, in purple. So that is errors that are more severe. So we ask you to pay more attention to that, or at least to review that first. There's another, we also sent a demo for all the agencies that have this error, the relationship to head of household, because I think that error is not that intuitive to correct. So we decided that it would be better if we go through the steps on doing that corrections. So all of the agencies that present that error should have received a demo, which is like a 5-minute video. However, we are going to include that demo in the in the minutes of this meeting, so it is available for everybody for future reference. Another thing I think it's important to mention is client doesn't know and client refuse, which are highlighted in yellow. We understand that those errors are not user errors per se, and I know errors could sound a little bit harsh. However, HUD determines that that is an error in the sense that it's not a response. So for that reason, it's important for us to highlight them so you guys can review. So what we ask in this case, we understand that there are things that we can change, but for example, if you have still the client enrolled in the project, you guys can go to the client and ask the question again and see if you can get the information. But we also understand that if the client is not there or the information is not easy to obtain, there's nothing we can do, and we understand that. But that's the procedure in this case, and always keep in mind that it's important to have to be faithful with the truth, right? So if the client said client refused, well, there's nothing we can do about that, even though we kind of like highlight as an error. So that's important for me to remind you guys, because we have received questions about that. And I just want to thank everybody that have sent questions and tickets, and it's really important for all of us to understand this is a very important report, and it should be a collaborative process, because if there's any agencies or any projects that have poor data quality, that's going to affect the whole COC, because the LSA is not project level, so it's going to affect all of us. So it's important to keep that in mind. Another important thing is that our due date for the second submission to HUD was extended 1 week. So that means that if you guys haven't had time to work on this, there's still time. We have 1 more week. So I encourage you guys to go ahead and make the corrections. And if you have any questions, as always, let us know. We have seen improvement in those errors. So that's pretty exciting. The errors have decreased by 50% approximately from the moment that we sent the second round till yesterday. So that's very exciting for us. So I encourage you to continue working on that. And is there any questions?
There was one question asking if they could get the corrections resent. So maybe we could follow up with that separately.
Yeah, if that's possible. You mean like a updated version of the corrections? That's what they mean? Or the same one?
I was thinking it sounded like they didn't receive them, but Devin, are you asking to get new corrections, or are you saying you never received them? Midnight Mission never received them. OCHA would like updated if possible.
Okay, yeah, we can send an updated version, and that would be helpful for you guys if you want to review. For example, if you delegate that corrections and you want to see if your staff have worked on that, we can definitely send like an updated if you guys want. So you can request that by a ticket. And for Midnight Mission, you should have received it, but if not, I apologize for that, and I will resend that.
Yeah, their Illumination Foundation mentioned it also, but that looks like the questions we have received.
Okay, so thank you very much again for working on that. That's really awesome of you guys, and that's it for me.
Okay. So that was the full agenda that we have. So right now we have time for questions. If anyone has any specific HMIS issues that they want to discuss or they want us to show. So I'll take a minute in case people are typing something in, and we can go over those questions. All right, I'm not seeing any questions coming through. If you haven't already, please enter your agency's name into the chat, and we'll follow up with those of you that were asking about corrections. And other than that, thanks for attending. See you guys on the next one, which will be May 1st. And we will send out a follow-up email with the meeting minutes, and we'll send a reminder for the next meeting also. So awesome. Thanks, everybody.